Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My channel focus to handle AWS in 100 days. Introduce about myself. My name is Dao. Currently, I'm a software engineer. I have 3 years working with Java, and today I will introduce to everyone how to build realistic application on AWS. Manage infrastructures, add codes through Terraform to adapt spy traffic. Server can handle and reduce latency, risk of downtime. Recently, I received new requirement that is building AWS resilient e-commerce platform. The exponential growth of online shopping necessitates robust and scalable e-commerce platform, and increasing traffic during peak shopping period like Black Friday or Cyber Monday requires the e-commerce platform to be highly resilient and responsive. Challenge objective: building a highly scalable, resilient, and cost-effective e-commerce platform on Amazon Web Services that can handle varying large survey components, fail without user visible errors, and maintain data consistency. Requirement: infrastructure as code. Use Terraform to define and provision the entire infrastructure needed for e-commerce platform. The architect must be declared through infrastructure as code practice for versioning and review abilities. Microservice architect design the application using microservice architect allow independent scaling and deployment of individual service component. Load balancing and auto scaling. Implement elastic load balancing to distributed incoming application traffic across multi-targets. Config auto scaling to automatically adjust the number of EC2 instances in response to application workload. Kubernetes using Kubernetes service to scale resource and ensure high availability and resilience for application. Database and caching. Use Amazon RDS for relational database with replicas to handle big workload. Implement caching. Use Amazon Elasticsearch to reduce the load on database during high traffic. Message queuing. Use Amazon SQL for decoupling application component, storage, and CDN. Use Amazon S3 for storing static content and product media. Integrate Amazon CloudFront as a CDN to deliver content global with low latency. Security. Implement AWS identity and asset management IAM to manage assets. Apply Amazon Web Application Firewall on Analytic Governance Server and CloudFront to safeguard against web exploits, ensure the application comply with relevant standards and regulation such as GDPR and PCI DSS, logging, monitoring and alerts, utility Amazon Cloud to monitoring the health and performance metrics on AWS resource. Use AWS CloudChai to monitor and log account activity, set up alert to modify administrator and any critical issue or irregular button. Disaster recovery and data backup, establish multi-AZ deployment to ensure high availability, implement replicas across different geographic regions to protect against region never failure, create backup strategies using Amazon S3 lifecycle policy and Amazon Glacier for long-term data archiving, code optimize, perform code path benefits analytics for the GeoVarus service, GeoAWS Church Advisor for recommend on how to save costs, implement Amazon Bucket to check and manage costs, deliverable. The first is document Amazon Architect Design. 2 is Terraform template file. 3 is CI/CD pipeline. We are using Jenkins to build. The 4 is testing and file code analytics reports.